Hey guys, quick news story, and welcome back to Unqualified Critics, by the way. But quick news story for my friends who don't really check Facebook that much. I'm in that category. I don't get on Facebook that often. That said, you should definitely follow Unqualified Critics on Facebook. I get on there occasionally. But there's been a big wrinkle in the plans that's going to cause a delay for many folks who've pre-ordered Arcade1up product. I don't know what products are affected. I don't know if these are store pre-orders or just people that have ordered direct from Arcade1up. Really not sure what to make of this just yet, but they're going to reach out to you directly if you are affected. I mean, here's what happens. One of those giant cargo freight ships encountered a mega storm in the Pacific Ocean, apparently, and it lost 1,800 shipping containers. And for reference, I clicked through to the news article that Arcade1up linked to. They're losing 1,300 shipping containers every year at sea from 2008 to 2019. This is across the entire world. And in the last 2 years, it's less than that. It's under 800. So in one fell swoop, this ship lost more containers than normally would be lost over 2 years if you're looking at just the last couple years of history. So very, very unfortunate. Some of these containers had ethanol oil in them. Some of them had batteries. These aren't things that you want at the bottom of the ocean. This is not optimal by any means. But as always, the number one most important thing was anybody hurt? And apparently, incredibly, nobody was hurt. I mean, with how large and heavy these containers are and how much they had to have moved to get dislodged, I can't believe not a single person was hurt. It also does kind of beg the question, what is the floor of one of these giant things made out of that can hold all this weight? Like, this is like 3 feet of steel or something on the floor. I don't know. Now I'm kind of curious. I'm going to have to look up, see if there are any documentaries on these freighter ships. But very, very unfortunate. I hope you weren't affected, but again, if you were, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to make it right. To ship by sea stuff from China, if you're in the U.S., to the U.S., you're typically talking 2 weeks. Could be a little quicker, but 2 weeks is a good rule of thumb. So if you were delayed, expect to be delayed at least another 2 weeks on your pre-order. And I don't know if these are pre-orders from stores, like I said, or just from Arcade1up. I mean, keep in mind, this is how they're going to ship product out to GameStop and Best Buy and everybody else. And those stores take pre-orders. So that stuff might be delayed too, not necessarily just the Arcade1up.com direct. I hope these guys had insurance on this. I assume that they do. When you sell product like these Arcade1up, these products that are heavy to ship, they're licensed, you got to pay a licensor. And they're largely dependent on retail distribution. You're not making a lot of profit per product. For a lot of people that wonder, why do these home arcade companies usually not have great warranties or great customer service? I mean, the answer is to a degree, because they can't afford it. If you're buying a product at Walmart for $500, an Arcade1up, Walmart's keeping probably $200 of that. So that's $300 left to cover the cost of shipping across the ocean, to cover the cost of building the product, to cover the cost of sourcing the components and all of that. And then you have to factor in some of the products that are built are defective and have to be replaced. Some of the defective ones you never even see, by the way. It's called manufacturing yield rate. But basically when they produce them in China, let's say 5% are defective. Well, they scrap 5% of them. And so they'll never even get to stores. Plus, as you and I know, some of them get to stores and end up defective there too, and then they have to support them. So there's not a lot of money being made here. If you just lost a few thousand units into the ocean, that could be a pretty big setback. So I'm sure there's insurance in place and all of that. But condolences, to everybody. We've got a bunch of crap in our ocean now. We've got some companies that are out some money. This shipping company probably just took a big hit because, again, 1,800 units is a huge number. It's more than you normally would lose over the course of an entire year of worldwide ocean shipping. So that's a big deal. So it's not great, but this is the reality of a globalized economy. When you're shipping materials across the globe, assembling them in one place and then distributing them to other places and moving them halfway across the world, this stuff does happen sometimes. And nature does what it wants to do, and if it felt like having a nasty storm that day, then what can you do? Anyway, hope you weren't affected by this. If you were, you'll hear from Arcade1up.com soon. Check your spam email, by the way, because you don't want them to send you an update and you didn't see it. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, consider hitting that join button to support the channel, and thanks so much for watching.
Dripping light. the sky.